Okay, so here's the top bar hive. I'm going to try to make this really short and sweet. This is 4 feet long. Some people make them 3 feet long, but I want the longer one, obviously, because more bees. There's 3 entrance holes. They're drilled 1 inch. You can cork 2 of them if like it's a brand new hive, or you can uncork all of them as they get bigger and they need more entrances to come and go. And then these legs are assembled with screws, so you can easily take them off. Whenever we move the hive, we can just take the legs off. Makes it easier to move. And Sam, what do you call this stuff that's on the top, the roof? What's that stuff called?
Plastic sheeting.
Plastic sheeting?
Plastic roofing. Plastic roofing.
Okay, so this is plastic roofing. We wanted something lightweight and easy that the rainwater would wash off really quickly. So I'm going to take it off. It's hard to do with one hand. Alright, that was tricky with one hand. So here's what's underneath it. Just a little basic wood frame. It's heavier wood on these ends, but it's lightweight, easy to manage, but I don't think the wind will take it. It fits pretty snugly on there. Oh yeah, on the other side, this end, is another hole which can serve as another entrance, and that's why I wanted the 4 foot long top bar hive, is because if my hive were to swarm, or if I caught another swarm, you can put a divider in your hive, and this can be the entrance to the new hive, the swarm that you catch, and it can be a temporary home until you get another hive built. So I like that idea. It'd be great, but normally I'm just gonna keep that corked. You're probably wondering about this space here. This is the bottom board that can be raised up. We just take these out and move it up. We should close it up. I think in the winter time, it may not get cold enough down here to do it, but up there where you are, definitely you want to close it up at winter time. Just move it up to the higher setting. But I'll show you once we look inside why there's a space there now. And this is just something Sam added that's just for fun. Not necessary, but it's plexiglass. Little viewing window so I can see the girls working. Okay. No, I can't get it closed. There we go. Okay. Now here's the top bars. They're 17 inches long and 1 3/8 inch wide. And some of them, and I put a star on some of these, some people suggest making some of your top bars 1.5 inches wide, because to allow them, when they're drawing out honeycomb, because the honey tends to be, or their honeycomb tends to be wider, and that way they just have more space. I don't know if that's a good idea or a bad idea, but some people do it, and I just thought I'd do a few bars that are 1.5 inch wide width, so to see how it does. I don't know. Most of them are 1 3/8. Alright. And the bees are not going to be able to come out. Let me just show you that this is all tight. So the bees will never come up until you pull one of these up when you're checking in their hive. Then they're going to come up, obviously. This here is just something we got, like molding or whatever, and just a little triangular type stuff. And it's about 11 inches long, and it's basically just to give them a good straight edge to follow when they're drawing out comb, so it's not all crazy. And then this is just melted wax, beeswax on there. That's all it is. Alright, so I'm going to pull all these back so I can show you what it looks like inside. Now, this is what you call a follower board, and all you do with this is it kind of is a guide and to help them keep their comb straight, and you expand it as your bees are expanding. So when I first add my bees, it's going to be a smaller space, but as they continue to draw out comb, I need to add more bars over here like this, and then move this back. So it has to be a constant thing. I have to constantly come out here probably every week or so, check on them, see how they're doing, move this back. If you don't, they'll leave because they don't have enough space. On here as well, there's a hole down there, and if I need to feed my bees, I have another one just like this back here, so I could put my jar of sugar water down in here in this space, and they can go through the drive-through and go get their sugar water. But the reason why it's nice to put the sugar water solution in here is that way you don't have hornets or other bees trying to feed. Some people hang them outside their hive, but this way only your bees are getting their lunch and they don't have to share it. Also, when the bees draw out comb, you know, it's obviously going to start off just a little bit on the bottom side, but when it gets completely drawn out, it's going to be shaped just like this. So a completely drawn out top bar is going to look like this, but obviously honeycomb and covered in bees. And then when if it's straight honey, capped honey, and I'm ready to take it, then you would just leave about 1 inch and just cut like about right here, and then they'll draw it back out again. Alright, now back to this at the bottom here that we talked about, the space right here. On the bottom, this is 8-inch hardware cloth that is stapled to the bottom of the hive, and that's everybody says 8-inch hardware cloth, no bigger, no less. And the reason is because varroa mites are real bad pest that gets in beehives, and you can powder with powdered sugar the bees, and they'll clean themselves, and when they do, it'll drop everything, all the mites and everything down through, and they'll fall right through the 8-inch hardware cloth. And you can have a sticky board that you can slide up under here, and then you can check and see how many varroa mites you have. And anyway, and also it adds good aeration to the hive too. What we ended up using, and this may be a really bad mistake, I don't know. They did not have 8-inch hardware cloth, but they had 8-inch screen. So this is what I got in the screen section, so it's screening material. And this may dry rot really quick, it may not last, they may chew through it, I don't know. But I'm hoping it'll last a few years before I have to replace it, so that's questionable. And I'll just let you know from experience what happens with that. So anyway, that's pretty much the basics. Can't think of anything else, but if you want the plans, now this one isn't exactly like Phil Chandler's design, but it's very, very similar. We use that as a guide, but Phil Chandler, if you'll look him up online, he has great plans. It goes through very specific detailing on how to build a top bar hive. I would highly suggest reading or watching any of his YouTube videos. He's been very helpful. So anyway, that's just about it. I hope it helps.